The Excellent Wife. We're chapter 4, A Wife's Understanding of Relationships. She says they've been adapted with permission from Stuart Scott, pastor of family ministries and counseling at Grace Community Church in California. That's John MacArthur's church. And Stuart Scott wrote the companion book, Exemplary Husband, another big name in biblical counseling. I think currently teaches at Bob Jones University and started his own counseling ministry. In this chapter, they introduce the idea that the Trinity is God's pattern for human relationships. This chapter, I put a lot in here, like, why? You know, he says the Godhead's relationship is our model of relationships. From eternity past, God, the Trinity, has set the pattern for our relationships. And I don't know, maybe you agree with that, maybe you don't. It's just presented out there as that that's the standards. And again, there's a lot of places. I like to sometimes look at references. This book doesn't have a lot of endnotes. The whole book has about 50 endnotes. Many of them are repeats, and they're all biblical counseling materials, I think almost entirely. Why I'm harping on that is later on, that's where we're going to get complementarian justifications, is through the Trinity relationship. We're going to contrast this with the characteristics of fallen man. I'm guessing it's someone's observations about how the Trinity works. There are things like Trinity's in perfect communication with each other, but fallen man hurts each other by not communicating biblically. The Trinity's open and transparent, fallen man's closed, private, and self-protective. So again, there's no substantiation for these kind of claims, but they're presented authoritatively and really a lot of detail, honestly, for something, even for something like the Trinity, which we can talk about theologically. Theologians have spilled so much ink talking about this, right? But this is not something we see crisply articulated on the pages of the Bible, which is one reason theologians have spilled so much ink on it. So to kind of easily pop this into a chart and in these very maybe simplistic ways, this reminds me of ways our attempts to force family life teaching into biblical doctrines reduces the mysteries of the faith, because instead of family life and human relations being something that can help us understand something about the greater mystery of the Godhead, we sort of say, oh, well, let's reduce the Godhead down to our human relationships. And that's a little bit of an inversion. I think we miss out. I think it's inaccurate starting place, and then we miss out on the mysteries of the faith.